Well, hello there everyone, welcome back to Microsoft Flight Simulator 2024. We're here in Keflavik in Iceland, hence the Icelandair 737 MAX. I thought we'd fly this again, so it was the first video I did in MSFS 2024 was in the MAX, and I've not really touched it since. So you can see we're here at Keflavik. There's a couple of aircraft sort of sitting around the place. We're here on the gate. We're going to be going to London today, London Heathrow. I reckon it'll be a straight out push in this thing, because the way that construction is, if we get straight out push, we can just turn straight out. Yeah, that works for me. So what we'll do, we're going to go into the cockpit, and we're going to get rid of the camera. And there you go. So the ADIO is aligned. I'm really sorry for that immersion destroying text. I don't know how to get rid of it. Nothing obvious in here, is there, before I... No. So let me get SimBrief up, and we're going to do a flight plan. I've sort of fudged the fuel here, so we should probably have a bit too much gas on board, hopefully. You can see we've got 10.3 tons, which is fine. I've also got my flaps extended for no apparent reason, so I'll put those into the up position. They'll retract very slowly because we are on we do have hydraulic pressure, but it's all air-based. So let's start with the route. New flights in SimBrief. We're going from BIKF to EGLL. Aircraft type is going to be a B-73. I think this is a MAX 8. We'll go for a MAX 8. Cost index is going to be preset at 31. Fuel factor, NA, kilograms. There you go, that all works. So we can analyse the route. Actually, we'll plug the route in there. So we're going Bravo, India, Kilo, Foxtrot to Echo, Golf, Lima, Lima. We'll do depart via Pixu to Charlie, runway 19, route, next page. After that, it's direct to Petux. We basically go through some oceanic airspace on the way there. Petux, Podar. So Petux is pretty much due south of the midpoint of Iceland. Podar is due west of the Faroes, south of Iceland. And then Adodo, Amtap, and then we basically enter UK airspace from there. So it's Podar, Do, Amtap, and Amtap is basically a massive lag. Amtap is basically Ayrshire, sort of. Yeah, it's due east of Ayr, basically, just south of Prestwick. And then from there we take an airway, which is a UT256. Amtap, sorry, my apologies, didn't plug it in. Then it's a Uniform Tango 256. Okay, it's directing cross, basically. And that's Carlisle, like just southwest of Carlisle. To then direct Lakey. Put that one there. And then direct Nugra, which is over Stoke. And then it's a star from Nugra, which we'll plug in later. So we can activate the route, execute it, and what we'll do is we'll switch our... do that, no, we'll do that, and then we'll do that. And then we'll go to... no sharp edges, basically the routing is as expected. Perfect. So we can now go Inish Ref, So we've got the weights plugged in, which is great. We'll just do our V-speeds. Thanks for plugging those weights in for me. In fact, I'm going to go index, performance, no, yeah, and one limit, there we go. And I'm going to just stick a 10% derate on. That then erases the V-speed, which is fine. V2 is 148 knots. So V2 plus 15, which you can plug in now, would be 165 knots, which would be initial climb-wise speed. Flight director is going to be armed. Let's just do LNAV and VNAV for the departure. It'll all make sense when we take off the runway. Now trim, 4 degrees of trim I want, which I've got slightly too much trim, which I'm fine with. No, I don't. Okay, that is not indicating correctly. I was at neutral trim. That would have meant we wouldn't have taken off there. So 4 degrees is actually about there, but it's just not indicating correctly, obviously, on that indicator. So that's, I had an issue recording this previously. I now know why. 3.9 is not enough for me to notice the difference in the aircraft. So we can now start the boarding process. So basically, we've told the airport staff that we're ready for passengers. Got the loaders appearing there, and I'm hoping we get passengers actually walking down the jet bridge. You do at some airports. I'm not sure if Keflavik is one of them. Looks gorgeous though. This is real world rather than real time. We will actually just generate this, just have a look at fuel load. See how close my guesstimation was. I mean, I'm pretty committed to 12 tons, but we'll see how we do. En route burn, yeah. So it's actually suggesting 8.7 tons, but because I'm oceanic, I'll take a bit extra basically. GSX Pro is outdated. I updated it as of this morning, but okay. Attach the pushback tug now. No.
Do you want a board crew?
Nope, the crew's already on board. We've been prepping the aircraft. So we should start getting the punters on now. So you can see that the rear steps are there. They're basically there. Well, I don't think we're actually boarding passengers by the rear air stairs, but they will be there just as an evacuation route basically. And they're now letting the punters on.
Passengers boarding starting.
See if they appear down the jet bridge. If they do, that is my thumbnail. Yeah, they do. There you go. That's pretty cool, right? I mean, RIP the frame rate and the fact that they're floating, but there you go. So it's going to be a while whilst we board. How many people are we putting on? It'll be a while. So what we'll do is we're just going to sit and wait. I'll do a jump cut and we'll come back when they are ready. Alrighty, we are back. We've got the last 7 passengers getting on board. I should have started boarding sooner, but it does look cool when you see them walking down the jet bridge to your aircraft. So you're not synchronised as well as I'd like, but hey, it's close enough. And yeah, you know what? It's if you, like I say, for those of us who remember before you even had walking passengers, we think, oh, it's going to be such a frame thing. Now you've got them walking down jet bridges to your aircraft. It's great. And then, yeah, so like I said, I want to get so we are ready for departure. The only thing I suppose left to do, the aircraft's come in, so we don't actually need to make it do anything, but we do need to go. I've set all our fuel pumps on, APU to the on position, and APU to start. The APU is now starting up, because I'll be using that obviously for my compressed air to start the engines. Doesn't actually give you any indication of the APU on this aircraft, unfortunately. So if I do use system, sorry, it doesn't give any indication. It gives hydraulics, which is great. Aside from that, yeah, we got nothing. We got nothing. You can see I'm obviously can apply deflection, so I've got hydraulic pressure at the moment, but nothing else. And we'll odd brake off for now as well. Anyway, we'll turn that off and that off, and then. So basically runway 19 is over there. I think that might be it. And then so we're going to be punching out of 19. I'm just taking Simbri for its word. I'm not actually doing any checking. Because I trust RAI overlords. Why would I need to verify? That's what the Russians do. Trust but verify. So, soon they'll be done, and then we'll be able to go places and do things. And actually go flying and stuff. I'm just ensuring everything is turned up audio-wise, and we're still recording. GSX, how are we looking? Boarding complete! Let's do a thing, prepare for push out and departure! Woo! There's no APU temp indicator on this, is there? No, there's not. Lol. Wait to check the APU's available. There we go, so we have got duct pressure, which is good.
Hello, Captain, we are ready for pushback.
Hiya. I'll get plugged in, get ready. And the average gets put away. Oh, this is actually a really good indication. So we're going off 19 end here, so that's 19 southbound, so...
Departure checks completed, bypass pin inserted.
Deceiving, so 19's actually behind us. I think everyone else is going off that end, but we'll go 19 and head southbound. Which is disappointing because we don't actually get to look at Iceland at all today, but we'll gloss over that. Also, we're not Bravo Foxtrot, like I say, with TF ICM today. Electrical bus is problematic, but that's because I've got AP available, which is good. To AP on bus. Ground power goes off.
Locking gear.
We're basically going to wait for the clearance to start our engines, and then we'll start engines and go flying. Got a wing walker there. Our marshal's for some reason shoved his head in my engine intake. And, oh, it's one of those. So this, you can actually see, this pushback truck is picking up the nose wheel of the aircraft, which is why our attitude is ever so slightly changed. Or changing, there you go. So please don't bug and flip us. It's going to be a straight pushback, manual stop 100 meters please. Straight pull, straight pushback. I don't know what the difference is, so I'm going to go pushback.
Release parking brakes, please.
Parking brakes are coming off. Parking brakes released.
Commencing push. All engines clear, start at will.
Roger. So he's standing in a really dangerous place, we're going to gloss over that. Basically we're going to get pushed out and hopefully line up so we can just taxi off on our lonesome here. But yeah, the threshold of 19 appears to be over that way somewhere. We'll figure it out. We've got our tracking map. So what we'll do, we'll start engine number 1 first. So N2 is coming up. At 14%, I'll put introduce fuel. 13, 14. Fuel goes on. And where is it? Fuel flow will be starting. There it is. Fuel's flowing into the engine. That's the engine catching now. So basically, initially you turn it over on compressed air. When you get enough RPM, you put fuel in it, and that then starts turning and burning and exploding. It's all very cool. What we'll actually do is just leave that in position 5 now. Oh, that's immersive.
Set parking brakes.
Yes, robot overlords.
Waiting your confirmation for a good engine start.
I'm going to give the good engine start command in that way. They will move away from me, basically. Is the logic?
Cockpit to ground. We have a good engine start. You can disconnect.
Unlocking gear.
So you see, it's going to unlock me. It's going to put me back down. And he's standing there. We've got our 2 wing walkers. So we're now put back down on the ground. He's then going to come over to the aircraft and take his pin. Come on, bye-bye, Iceland, thank you. And we're going to we're going to go for the start on 2 now.
Tow truck disconnected. Bypass pin removed.
Roger.
Left is clear. Right is clear.
Thank you. I knew that. Oh, forgot to turn my beacon back on. I can put the fuel in straight away, and it won't penalise me for it. So has he walked off yet? Because you will see him walk away. And there you go. You see, he's standing next to on your side, and he's showing me the pin. That shows he's disconnected. You can see it there. Waving the pin, and he'll then walk off back to the airport for his next flight. Have a good trip, thank you, see you later. So, taxi lights now go on. Gen 1 on. Engine 2 is still starting, so I'll wait for the number 2 engine to start and then we'll taxi off. I'll set my auto brakes to RTO in preparation for our takeoff. Brake pressure is good. We'll do speed brakes to armed for the takeoff. I'm starting to sound like a pilot. And everything else is good to go. Yeah, we're going to have 2 starts momentarily. In fact, I can turn bleed on from 1, which will probably speed that start up in theory. That is 2 good starts, left and right. Start cut out is observed. Packs on, auto, off, on. So basically that is done. APU is now in its cooldown phase. APU is now fully unloaded. We're just going to leave it to cool down until we get to the runway. And as we enter the runway, one of the items we'll do is we'll turn the APU off. Let's see if I actually remember to do that. Parking brake is released. Take a bit of power. Get us rolling. And return out to the left. So taxi route is going to be down to the end and then left. Ignore this, just because GSX isn't clever enough to position me in a way that would be safe for me to taxi off normally from. Qatari's made it up here. They must be ferrying somewhere or from somewhere. Lots of Neos. I've actually got a Icelandair A321 Neo livery in Neo LR. I was going to fly it all the way from here to Vancouver. It's not as far as you think. And there we go. So basically we are aiming for the end, then taxi to the threshold of 19 and depart southbound, because that's 19. So Keflavik is the main airport for Reykjavik, which is Iceland's international airport, or main international airport I should say. Well, Keflavik's so Reykjavik's the capital city, Keflavik's the airport, I apologise. And yeah, Keflavik's up behind us. Reykjavik has its own airport, but it's more used by GA basically, and like small light aircraft, or light airliners I should say. None of the big boys like we've got here at Keflavik. Keflavik was also was and is an airbase, so Iceland, although it's a member of NATO, has no air force. So the NATO countries take it in turns to basically do an air detachment up here, and they do the air policing. And we'll do a cheeky little bippity 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 boppity and a whoop, scoop, 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 scoop. There we go. Actually, I have to check our initial altitude. That's the one thing I've not done yet. Legs 7,000 out of below. So 7,000 goes in the box. There we go. Thank you. So like I say, we are on our way down to London. So estimated arrival time into London today, 10:30. Doesn't have one. That's quite fun. The speeds have remained the same, so why is it clearing them? So yeah, that 7-3 is taking the runway. We'll be taking the runway after him. So we'll say we've been cleared for takeoff after the departing traffic. Just checking everything else as I need it. There we go. So we're now prepared for takeoff. You set the transponder up, didn't you, for me? Yeah, we've been TRA for the duration. So basically, everyone who's been approaching has just had traffic, shouting at them constantly. We are clear on the approach, and we are clear to enter. What's that they say? Yeah, you got some radar dishes and stuff. There is a good book actually, which is Tom Clancy's Cold War, which is basically is it Red Storm Rising, I think, where basically there is a battle for Iceland, and it's really interesting. It's World War II, but in the Cold War, so it basically depends on your enough. But I've got 4 flaps somehow. All of a sudden, suddenly and without warning, I have 4 flap. We'll just hold it on the runway. It was because I pressed the B key. So the B key used to configure your pressure gauge for you. And pressure has just changed. There we go, quite rapidly. That would have been an ear popper. Yeah, there is no toga switch on this, which is a bit upsetting. Because the button there, the black button, that is the toga switches. That's what I throttle disconnect, and that's toga, and that's what I press, and that would give me my basically my heading guidance, which I just scroll around as quickly as I dare. My flaps are now set. Oh god. Right, we'll just take heading select off. We'll just use. It's got nothing to complain about. We're going. We'll go with it. There you go. Hello. What the ever-loving heck was that? The airplane got some lift and just wheelied. Right, I want to visually examine or use the systems to check my trim. So it's not indicating on there, but we've selected. So we're. I want 4 degrees of nose trim, please. Yeah, no. That's not 4 degrees of trim. I'm just going to go for trim, set the trim to neutral, and we'll go with it like that. Jesus Christ. I know this isn't like PMDG. I'm going with it regardless. It's giving me takeoff config warnings. I don't care. I am configured as far as I can tell. V1, rotate. Woo! Bit blustery, bit blustery. Buffeting. No, we are not buffeting in the aircraft. I've got the thing up there. That's definitely just purely and for the reasons so that you guys can actually see what I'm doing. Climb path is selected. We're gonna roll. basically fly the VNAV profile now. Feels very slow, and it feels like I've got no lateral stability. What we'll do, I'm just going to put the autopilot on because I do actually want to look around before we disappear into the cloud. Let the aircraft trim itself out there. So this is Keflavik. Okay, so we are actually turning around slightly, so the route we're taking, I'm just going to go flapless. Do quick after takeoff items. That's goes. Oh, I had speed brakes out for no apparent reason. That's probably why the aircraft wouldn't fly. So, apologies for that. I'm going to turn the desktop audio down because that is loud. Wow, kind of like a homesick angel we are. You can see this is the landscape of Iceland. Apparently, for the Apollo missions, the astronauts were sent here to train to see what the lunar environment would be like so desolate and empty. And you can understand why. There's nothing here. And it's not just the desert, you know, it's, yeah. But it's crazy. Like I say, so Reykjavik is further inland. Reykjavik is sort of up that way, I believe. Like I say, we're not going to fly over that way, just climbing into the clouds. And we're going to lose all visibility momentarily. But my thing is off, everything else is set. That only leaves me to do one thing, guys, and that's to bid you guys farewell for now. So thank you guys very much for watching. Hope you did enjoy the video. We'll come back tomorrow for arrival and landing into London Heathrow. See you soon. Bye.